Holy cow, I figured there would be like 10 bajillion people in here already. No! Computer, please! Of all days to be pulling this, not today. Alright. I've got my crocheting stuff in my chair, so I can't really set my turn. Guys, I'm here. I'm kind of mumbling to myself because I'm trying to go through all my thoughts and things like that. Give me just a second, because for one, I gotta have you guys up on my, no, I gotta go back to my channel. Okay, so I gotta go pull up Discord. I gotta pull up YouTube. This one is a little chaotic and hectic and all over the map, so give me like 5 to finish this, okay? To get set up and everything, and I'll do it. So give me a minute. Guys, I gotta figure this out too. Apparently, none of you bothered to tell me when I've been sharing links to my streams. It's actually been linking my whole channel. Okay. I've got so many of these things I've got to update. I'm here, but you gotta give me a second, please. That is not how I spell that. Okay, there's that. Okay. Okay. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I've got everything set up. Also, you guys are currently sitting on my desk. I have this set up to be on my phone. Because, yeah. I don't have any other way of getting it hooked up. So, this has been going for a hot minute now. So I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and well, actually no. I'm gonna give it just a few more because honestly, I just barely finished putting everything out. So we're gonna go till 10 minutes. You guys chill with that? I'm trying to make sure everyone got it. So, yep. Okay. Alright. I say everyone. I think all. Oh my gosh, my brain is fried. But I think all of my social media accounts that I usually do streaming stuff with are aware of this. So, I'm gonna give it like a good few minutes before I do anything. I will show you guys. Oh my gosh, my legs are hurting. I I will explain why here in just a few, but I will show you guys. So, and this is pretty cool. This is pretty neat to me. Um, you guys can see my whole setup now. How fun. Um, I say that I'm a dork and I think that that's pretty neat because usually you guys only get to see my stream setup from my little like webcam thing on my computer. So now you guys get to actually see my stuff from my perspective, which is fun. I'll give it like another 3 minutes just to let it go. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So, I will say for this stream, too, specifically, you guys are more than welcome to use, redeems. You're more than welcome to use the little breadcrumb channel point things I have. I will 1010% have them up. Pretty much though, this whole stream is for all the people that I have had pop in or like filter in, and they've kind of been like, well, what's this in your room? What's that in your room? So you guys get to see everything. You get to see what I obsess over. This is fun. I don't know what else to do. I'm literally staring at my phone with the screen up. And I'm looking at my computer. I'm just waiting till like the 10-minute mark. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm still here. I'm gonna type this into the chat really quick because I don't have a be right back screen or anything. So I'm gonna type this in. Okay, so I'm putting this in chat. Just to let you guys know, I am still here. I'm gonna mute the mic and stuff. The only reason is because before I started streaming, I did not make a drink, and I made the poor decision of saying, nah, I'll be good when I got home about an hour ago, and apparently I am not. So just to give myself a little bit more time and give everyone a bit of a chance to see the notification and stuff, I will be, what am I saying? I will be giving everyone like a chance still. So let me go do that before I forget. Yeah. Oh, that is the right button. I need to put my glasses on. Jeez. Alright, I am back. So I don't think anyone else is going to join. Let me click this really quick. Let me see here. Oh no, I forget. I can only view that on my thing. Oh well. It is what it is. Okay, I'm kidnapping you guys. Alright? I'm showing you. I'm like walking out and I'm gonna show you like the huge difference between my room and the rest of my house. I'm not showing the whole house. I'm just gonna show like, so my room is kind of in like this little like cranny area kind of in the corner of our house. So I'm kind of like tucked away from everyone and you can hear that there's kind of like an echo. That's not the fun part. So you see, you guys have seen snippets of my room. So this is what you see from the outside, okay? I don't have my light on. That's also why I'm very quiet at night when I stream, because it's a door, yeah, but that is a huge gap where it sets offset a little bit. So let me show you what I see every time I walk into my room. In comparison to the rest of my house, this is what I see. Also, I did not think to cover that. Hold on. Let me. Is there any way? No. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to be like extra super careful not to show that off. You know what? We're gonna. You know what? I'm gonna start this way because I know I'm going to absolutely forget. So this is like the entirety of my room. I'm gonna close my door and stuff. My dog is probably gonna have a freak out, but so this is it. I have all those up there, all that. Yes, that is a signed poster. I'm just kind of like slow panning for now, so you guys can kind of see everything, and then I'm gonna go over everything else. Ugh, I can't cover it very well. Okay, and then we're back again. Which you guys have seen my bed. So yeah, that is pretty much my room. That is like everything you see. What else am I gonna say? That is also stuff I got over Christmas. I actually won that, the little donut maker thing. The rest of that, well, okay. The Lego sets are from Christmas. Those were my brother's. He wants me to build for him, and then I still have to build those, so. Which, I don't know how obvious it is that I like to build with Lego stuff, but I hope it's obvious enough. So, I don't know how to go about this. I was gonna show all this off and kind of like slow pan, but I don't know how to go over everything. I guess just start in like one area and just kind of explain how I got everything. That's about the best logic I have. Also, before I forget, this is actually going to go up on YouTube. So currently, if you are missing this, because I know one of my mods probably will end up having to miss this because he usually joins my later streams. So, in the offhanded chance you join this late at any point, or you're watching the VOD on this, first of all, if you're watching the VOD, hi, thank you, hello. Please, if you watch the VODs, leave comments and stuff so I know people actually watch them. so I know to keep uploading to YouTube. Secondly, if, like I said, if you want to watch, like, any point you missed after a certain while, I will try and have this up on YouTube by the end of the night. So, yeah. Anyways, I guess, just explain stuff. So, you see, I'm just gonna go section by section on my wall. So, this is the first section. As you can see, my dog has one whole little mini area for him. He's got his blanket, his toys are in there. For the most part, he doesn't mess with my bags, but he has his stuff. These. So I have to explain this a little bit because it's kind of weird. My brother, who I said I'm going to refer to as Mr. Goose on here, Mr. Goose is a very, very, very huge figure collector, like a gigantic figure collector. He has a enormous collection. It originally started as Funkos, but now it's kind of moved over to figures, so he has a lot. And from that came this and this. As you can tell, that is a very odd character to have specifically for Naruto. That's because I actually like Shino. He is like my number one favorite Naruto character. Also, I got a little plush clip here. Yes, I'm struggling. I'm standing on my toes to try and point this out. I've got a little clip here. Also, there is dust up there. I did not realize I did not dust these very well. But this is gonna serve you well to know. Just remember this. His name's Tucker. Yes, I named my plush. We don't talk about that. I'm just now realizing this is gonna show my name off. Okay. Oh well. Anyways. Sign poster there. Actually, that looks weird. That looks wrong. Holding my hand like that. Sign poster. Little mini killer picture that I printed out specifically for a keychain test. Obviously, it is not my art. It still showed my name. Oh well. Obviously, it's not my art. I am not with this. I do not plan to sell this or do anything else with this. This is staying in my room. I was trying to fix my printer settings too with this, so yeah. I also got this as like a freebie with one of my little acrylic standees for my Whitebeard commander set. So I'll show you guys that here in a few. This, as I just got done saying, Mr. Goose is a very big figure collector, and we went to Rainy Day Anime while we were passing through at one point. And out of a mystery bag, he got this little tapestry. Now, do I like most of these characters on here? Not really, no. I hate his guts. On site, she's on the same level as Shanks for me. I would absolutely, like, suplex her on site. He's chill. I'm iffy about him. He's cool. So, I have this hung up because for the most part I'm okay with that. Anyways, he got like a mystery bag with a figure and things like that. I think he was after a Miku figure. Unless he was just buying it to support their shop, because he does that a lot too when he goes into figure shops. Especially like smaller ones that are just starting out. Even if he has no interest in what comes in the bags at all for like the mystery bags and stuff, he will still buy something to support them. So I don't know if it was a case of like that or what, but he got like a mystery bag and he pulled this and he's like, you know what, I don't want this here, do you want it? So I said, okay, sure. So that's how we ended up with this beautiful wall in my room. Looking over a little bit more, obviously you can tell this is like my TV and stuff. Yes, it's kind of a mess up here at the moment. I have been all over the map trying to clean my room and stuff the last few weeks. I've been trying to dust, keep on top of dusting and things like that. So, yeah. Clearly you can see how well that went. I'll just start at the top of the wall this time. So, again, serves you to remember, his name is Alfred, okay? Don't ask me why. That's just what I named him. I got that a few years ago for Christmas because I actually really like Up. That's one of my favorite Disney movies. If it's not obvious by now that I actually like a lot of the movies that involve the sky, it's gonna become very obvious the more I talk about the movies I watch. So yeah. And then we got him and Genji because, yeah, first of all, they're both brothers. I couldn't just get him and not get his brother. And secondly, they're both cool. Not my favorites. You're gonna find my favorites. I don't have a spicy QnA statue. I'm doing this to prove I don't have any statues like that. I got thrown off. Okay. This. That's my TV. I don't think you need an introduction. Also, there's my reflection. Hi, me. Wait, Wait, no, that's my only QnA shelf. Oh my gosh. I can't even click on what does that say? Why is it censored? That's why it's censored. No, oh my gosh. Okay. I'm getting to all that. First of all, these are also Mr. Goose's. So whenever he comes in and gets them. Speaking of Gakupo, I have these. They're little bits and pieces to the Nendroid I have over here, but because I'm trying to make my way around my room, that's probably going to be one of the last things I show. I got a mini Sanji shrine, and I have a paper theater. These are really cool. I have an addiction to building these. I have like 4 or 5 of these in my room, but it's like a little 3D thing with different layers and stuff. But this one's of the Going Merry. This one's pretty cool. It's sad, but it's cool. All that stuff, I don't think you really need to know. Earrings, keychains, my remote, brushes, combs, retainer, hairsprays, so on and so forth. Down here, I have this, because this is kind of a gift I'm still trying to finish up. I got like a couple more days on. Then up behind it, obviously, from my Discord server, if you guys are in it, I actually have a VR. I just play VR chat without it because it's starting to make me really sick playing VR chat with a headset. But I do play Beat Saber and a couple other games on there, so yeah. Alright, let's see. My legs actually let me crouch today. Oh my gosh. Alright, I gotta get closer. Oh, that's what it is. My chat thing on my phone right here. It's like right there. And the top one like fades away after a while. That's what's messing with me. Anyways, I also have a little Naruto figure collection. It's little cats. But yeah, I have a Sakura up over there too. I don't like her, but I think the little thing's cute. It was a little mystery blind bag from an arcade we went to a while ago. And then we got a Datara statue. Again, thank you to Mr. Goose for the contribution because it was a figure he did not want. So, I ended up with it. Fun story about these cats, for the longest time on Big Bad Toy Store, I had a pre-order for the one wave that had Hinata in it. Yeah, they canceled that. I don't know why. They canceled the pre-order after like 4 years. I still never got the cats from that wave, so I'm not even sure how many waves I am far behind in this, but I can't even get it to focus. Jaya, Tsunade, I can't tell. Oh, Zabuza and Haku. And then it kind of goes. I tried to order them and the thing, like the arcs that happen, but I don't know how well that went. We got all the Akatsuki, and then we go from there. First of all, I did see that I like ducks too. That's why that's my thing. Secondly, I have to ask an actual animal. You know what? No, I don't think I want to know. I don't want to know what you mean by that. For my Switch stuff, mostly this, I have 2 sets. Again, Mr. Goose gave me those because he just wanted the thing for Fortnite. So, I have these that actually came with this, and then those came from him. That was actually a birthday gift for, I don't remember if it was this year or last year. It was one of the two, but we got Tetsu because he is also one of my favorites from My Hero. That shelf's kind of, that's pretty much it. There's nothing else there. But this one has a lot. So I am a huge anime nerd, yes. But I am also a huge, I don't want to say huge Disney nerd, but I did grow up in a house that Disney is a very relevant thing. So I'm going to show off this shelf because it shows all my favorite shows and things like that. So, first of all, up. That's not really surprising. I gotta pull the little house out and turn it around because it's a half thing. I think that's pretty cool. I think that is really, really cool. The little adventure book is in the attic part up here. I don't think I can. Oh, maybe I can get it up. Oh, maybe not. Oh, no, I did. So it's the little adventure book thing with it. Yeah. So there's that. Up behind it, I have that. I can't. Where am I gonna set the? You know what? Maybe it'll set. Okay. So I got that, and I got that. Both are from Mr. Goose. Again, you're gonna notice a huge theme with a lot of my figures. They all came from Mr. Goose in one way or another, or I bought them. I just dusted this shelf. Jeez. Okay. We got those. The little Carl and Ellie with the snow globe. That sticker actually came from my niece. I put it up on my shelf because she gave it to me because it has Scrump in it, and she knows that Scrump is like my favorite. So then there's that. It originally was an ornament for a Christmas tree, but this is, to me, it's really cool not to set out all year. Who's Mr. Goose? Mr. Goose is who I refer to my brother as because he does not want to be known on my channel, so I call him Mr. Goose, so no part of his identity is actually put on blast for everyone to see. But then we got that. I'm not gonna pick that up because that tin is very heavy. Heavy. Jeez. But then there's a little Wally and Eve down there. And then another Christmas ornament, but it's also just a smaller scale. of the Up House. That, for the most part, is it for this. Not very much on this shelf. See, this was that picture. Crud. This is that picture, though. The one that I have up there that I did the little, like, test print on. This is what that picture is. I did it for, like, a little test thing for the keychain stuff because I don't say it a lot. I work with resin, but I did it as many okay. This is not gonna cooperate. There we go. With One Piece, and yes, you're also gonna notice a very big theme with that in my room too. I'm a huge One Piece nerd. I specifically like Kid's Crew. Don't ask me why. He's my second favorite. Next to Whitebeard's crew, he's my second favorite. So, well, his is my second favorite crew. So, we got, and then those two of Killer. Then we got the bigger, like, cat down there. We got that. This is the actual card. I actually pulled this a while ago. I just keep it in here. If I cannot choke. But I keep that in here because, to be honest, it's pretty cool. I don't have that put away in my binder, but it's really cool. Then we got the little mini cat, the mini version of that cat, with the Katakuri, Enru, and Rob Lucci. These ones I think were, no, he was from the second or third wave. These were all from the first. I do know that. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't remember. It's very hard for me to keep up with what waves the cats come out with. Because I have like 2 or 3 other boxes of both the Naruto ones and the One Piece ones I've not actually opened and sat out because I don't know where to put them. Anyways, moving on. We got another little One Piece shrine or miscellaneous things. Again, why is my shelves so dusty? I swear, like, I dust my room like once a month. And I got an air purifier to kind of help cut back on the dander and stuff in my room. But jeez. Apparently it didn't help enough. Anyways, so I have that. Is the little, like, buggy set thing. And if you didn't notice, someone's locked up. Because I don't like him, and that's where he's staying. He's banned. Then we got Koala. And then we got these 3. I don't remember how or why I ended up with them. I think they were also from Mr. Goose, so, yeah. And now, the one thing apparently a lot of you have asked me about in the past before is my QnA shrine. I just got done telling you guys I have them up there. They're not my favorites. Like, I like them. They're one of my favorites, but they're not my #1 favorite. QnA is. This is not the extent of my QnA stuff, I promise you. I still got like 2 or 3 other things hung up on my other wall. So, moral of the story, I have a huge thing for QnA. I cannot remember where a lot of these came from. I know this came from... That should be faced out like that. Okay. I know that came from... There was another store that was a smaller one me and my brother had went to. And we were there. I was looking for One Piece stuff. And he pointed that out. He's like, look, they have a little look-up figure for QnA. Are you going to get it? And I was like, nah. And right as we were about to walk out, I ended up saying, okay, it kind of grew on me. Yeah, I'm going to get it. And I do not regret it. It is like one of the cutest little figures I have of QnA. Then I have this one. this one. I have that one. That one was one Mr. Goose pulled in a blind bag, and he's like, I don't want him. He just wanted Mitri, so I ended up with him. A lot of these, though, surprisingly, a lot of my QnA stuff was actually gifts. I can't really pull everything out and show you, but I have the Chase variant of the Funko and the normal one. All the chases is him more or less crying, which is kind of sad, but, and again, there's another paper theater up there and a little Lego set thing. I don't know if I can turn my light on. Let me see. No, okay. So I can't really turn my light on, but I got another paper theater up there with another little like Lego figure. But I think that's pretty much it. This I can show you guys, but there's kind of just, you know, stuff in here. I say stuff because I don't actually want to expose what's in here. It's all crocheting stuff. My brother said it's a pin light bag, but I've turned it into an old granny bag because I crochet. For this being used for crocheting stuff, I can get the zipper, there we go. But for this being used for crocheting stuff, like, do you understand how handy this actually is? In this pocket, I have a little mini kit. I have different hooks, things like that. My colors go in here with my crocheting stand and my current project. Although, both of those are out over on my desk right now. Well, not in my desk. They're in my chair. And then down in this bag, I have more crocheting hooks, my scissors, and then I got this and this. Both of these were neat little things my niece and nephew had got me. I think it was my nephew, actually. This goes on your finger while you're crocheting, and you loop the yarn through, so you just sit there and go, and it keeps tension on it. I think this is, like, really, really neat. But then there's this, too. It's a little clicker, so you can count your stitches, and then you just restart. I think that's, like, really, really cool. So that's all the stuff that I have in there. It's like a little travel-sized crocheting bag. I have another one too, but I feel like that one would be more used for like electronics, because it has like holes in the sides of the bag where the yarn's supposed to run through, but then it has like a charging port thing built in the bag. So I use the other one that's actually for yarn to bring my drawing stuff around in, like my digital drawing stuff, and then I have this to bring my crocheting stuff around in. How that works out, I don't know. Anyways, oh my gosh. Okay, on a side note really quick, you're probably going to hear me complain about my legs. I decided to try and work out at the beginning of the week, and long story short, the workout did not actually, work out. Normally when my legs or my muscles hurt from doing stuff, they don't usually hurt for a very long time. They mess my muscles up. Anyways, moving on to this, there's so much stuff in my room. I don't think there's going to be a way to hide my name, so at this point, screw it. You guys are going to know at one point or another. Anyways, this is a little mini corner of things I've gotten signed at cons. This is not the extent of it. I will show you guys the rest of this stuff I got signed, but this is the stuff I kind of have up on the wall. You guys are going to notice there's a very huge theme with a lot of the things I get signed, or a lot of the things I have. and a lot of the characters I like. I am going to say this, you guys can use this in any context you want. You could do whatever you want with this clip. I am like a huge fan of Ian Sinclair. Like, the voice acting stuff he does, I really, really like. Oddly enough, I ended up liking both Victor and Shoji before I realized he actually voiced both of them. And in Hetalia, I did not realize he voiced Romano either, so there is that too. Although Romano is not one of my favorites, he's still one of the goofiest characters in there. So he's not my favorite. He's not one of my favorites, but I still like him. He's a really cool character. So I've gone to numerous cons and gotten different things signed by Ian Sinclair because he's so cool. And the last one I went to, I don't think he ever will see this, but the last one I went to was last year in July, I think it was, and I went as like kind of a female Whitebeard kind of thing. In his prime, I might add. So Edward Newgate, not actually Whitebeard, Edward Newgate. So I went as him, and I went out to his table, and you're gonna see on my little lanyard in just a second, I gave him this whole bag filled with these pins of all of Whitebeard's commanders. And this, I freak out over this so much every time I think about it, because I went up and he was looking at them and he's like, oh my gosh, these are so cool. And I think he shared them with some of the other voice actors because he was like, they're not gonna believe that somebody actually made this kind of stuff. So that was super, it was so cool. That was like one of the moments I felt like I was over the moon, because that was so cool. But before I keep going off, let me show you guys some of the stuff I still have. So I have these from Fan Expo for the last couple of years. The one is right there from last year. Yeah. Okay, so I have the ones from the last few years. So, and I got that from the first time I went. I got some Shoji stuff because, like I said, he is one of my favorites from My Hero. Probably my number one favorite. I do not talk this much normally, so my throat is killing me. I will grab a drink here in just a second after I finish up this wall. These. It's no mystery. My brother got me this because he knows I do not like Tashiki. However, I absolutely love Karu. He's a duck. He's a bird. Obviously, I'm gonna like him. That's kind of like my whole thing on here is ducks, but in general, I love all kinds of birds. I don't know why, I just love birds. They're so cute to me. I'm gonna stop that there before I go gush on about birds. Anyways, I also have a story about these. I'm gonna share it in just a second when I get to them. This, my little shrine thing. So this right here was the con up in Colorado Springs I actually went to, where I got that, and that signed. I say that, I went for those two things specifically. And I got the third thing over with me, so I will show that off. But those came from the con. The one con. Anyways, back to what I was originally saying. As you can tell, I've made no secrets about the fact I like Thatch. I obsess over him. He's like one of my favorites. Top 5 One Piece characters for me. Absolutely 1010%. No secret here. Obviously, I collect One Piece cards. But I am also a very, very huge fangirl of Corazon. Huge. Very, very big. Also, hi. I don't know if I'm looking at the camera or not, but hi. Yeah, I'm standing over here, like, trying to hide from my mirror. I cosplay. My cosplay stuff's on my streaming channel. There's no point to hide. Anyways, before I forget, so another huge reason I love going and seeing Ian Sinclair at all the cons and stuff when I get the chance to. I will literally make stuff up to get signed, to go up to his table to support him in the stuff he does, because he is such a cool voice actor. Like, to me, I know everyone's like, oh, he's goofy because he does Brooke. No! Have you actually gone up and talked to him or, like, went to his table? Like, honestly, I would love to know what had been going through his head when I went and got that and that signed, because I went up, and at the time, because you guys know, I've kind of mentioned it before, last year I kind of was not doing the greatest, so, or last year I was fixing it, at least. The year before I was not doing the greatest, and I haven't been for a very long time. So, that con was not last year. I think it was in 2024 was when it was. So in 2024, I went to go see him at Colorado Springs. And when we went, we were like one of the first people down there to go see him. And he's like, we were standing there because it was like a smaller convention center kind of thing. We were standing there and I went up to go get these things signed. My brother, Mr. Goose, went up before me, and he was getting his stuff signed, and I was sitting there, and the lady that was helping us, or was helping me, she's like, alright, well, what kind of prints did you want? So, I was picking out the two that I had wanted, and I had the other thing I will show you guys once I get around to it, because it's on the other side of my room, but I will show you guys that when I get there. As she was helping me, my mom and dad also went to this thing. He was talking to Mr. Goose, and he's like, well, do you have any jokes? As you may know, I do Brooke's Laugh for anyone that comes up to the table and tells me a joke. So, my brother kind of stood there and was like, no. But my mom and dad were quick to jump in and was like, he might not, but his sister will. And I just stood there and I froze because I was trying to pick the other things out. And I was like, okay. So I told him the joke. Keep in mind, I knew he was going to be at this convention. That's why we had gone. We had made things to go to this. My dog is barking at something. Let me go see what he's barking at, but I will finish telling the story about that. Hold on. Okay, he was barking at the neighbors again. What was I saying? Okay, the things. So, to kind of sum it up, because I've been, like, rambling about this. Basically, I went to go see him, and when I finally went up after I had told the joke, my brother finished getting his stuff signed and went up to go, he got his stuff signed and then kind of stood off to the side and waited for me with my parents. Because they had also wanted to see him too, because I had told him, if you go up and you tell him a joke, he will do Brooke's laugh. And they're like, what? No. So, we went up. I went up with my brother, and they were kind of just standing there with us, because they wanted to see too, because they didn't believe me. So, I went up, I told him the joke, he did the laugh, and they just kind of were like, what? He actually does it? So, when I went up to go get the stuff signed, I will show you guys the thing, because it's a giant tapestry thing, but he was telling me, oh, I see that you went and got, like, my captain's signature and things like that before, because it's a thing for One Piece. So, I will show you guys, but it's a very huge tapestry. I have, like, a whole bunch of signatures on. I've been collecting it for a little bit now, for a couple of years, actually. So, he said that, and then I did not realize this at the time. I was so out of it because I get sick from, like, altitude change. I was so out of it because where I live, the altitude is, like, a lot lower than what it is up in the mountains. But up in, like, the mountains where this thing was, there was so much pressure. So I felt green from riding in the car and having motion sickness that way. And then we go up and I have, like, 10 times worse of a headache and feel like I'm going to throw up because, like, obviously the pressure. But then I get anxious around people, and it was so much worse before last year when I fixed it. It was so much worse. So I'm standing in line and I'm just like, yeah, you know how it is. I did not realize this, and I feel so dumb. And I feel like he probably thinks that I was, like, a flipper or something like that. Like, someone trying to more or less sell these, which they're not. Clearly, they're on a wall of, like, very important things for me. These are things I cherish. It made the whole little section of my wall with my diploma. That should tell you how important these are to me. But so, as he was signing these, I did not realize this. He was doing the voices of the characters. I did not realize that until after we left, and I was like, wait a minute. And then it hit me. And, like, so, that to me is just, like, so cool. But, enough gushing about this little section. I don't think I really need to point out. I have a whole bunch of stickers just to kind of cover the back of my door. I've never really watched Haiku. And yes, you guys can call me a poser. However, I had, like, a bunch of, like, staple holes and things like that on my door. So, at one point, I wanted to watch Haiku, but I don't really want to anymore. I don't know why, I just don't want to. But I do want to keep these up because I at least like the fact that, like, right there, behind that one, and, like, somewhere right there, just off to the side a bit, there's staple holes. There's, like, a whole bunch right there, and things like that. I have QnA, and I forget how to say his name. Sanemi? I don't know. I forget how to say his name, but I have both of them. Same thing. I have these ones. Obviously, I have Shino and Shoji up here. I have Obito, too. Because, yeah, he's also one of my favorites from Naruto. But, Mr. Goose put this up here. Don't know why. He randomly sticks stuff on my doors and things. Not really much over here. I mean, I have my cords and things and my fan. I have two little signs for corgis. And I think both of these came from... No. I don't remember where this one came from. This one I know came from Florida. The one time we went out there. Anyways. Just to kind of quickly show this off. This was a fun thing that my brother had given me for Christmas. That was a mini printout thing I did to test little, like, Polaroid printouts. My diploma. I say it like that because I'm like, yeah, I have a diploma. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. I also don't really want to show up to school and things like that too, because I don't know if I'll get in trouble for it or not. So I'm kind of just like, oh yeah, my diploma. Yeah, that's nice. What's that way? These though. These are the pins I was talking about. So at the convention last year, Fan Expo, I went as Whitebeards, and I had 2 sets of these. I made 3 sets of all of them. I gave the whole 1 set to Ian Sinclair, but I also made him a couple of Brook pins too from the One Piece cards, which they look really cool. These ones I actually printed out and made my own. Or I didn't make these. I should reiterate that. The pictures anyways. I know it sounds bad. I'm trying to find one like this one. So I had to use Waifu 2X to kind of help me with this, to help like buffer some of these in. So like this one, it didn't buffer in on the eyes very well, so that one was kind of bad. I don't see any more. I don't think there's any more, but for those of you that don't know and think I'm just blabbing random nonsense, Waifu2X is actually a website that more or less buffers and like clears up anime screenshots. So that's what I used on most of them. I handed out almost the entire set of these though. I want to say this too. If you ever catch me at cons, which speaking of, I will probably be at Fan Expo this year, more than likely. Once it gets closer, I'll put more details out on it. So if you guys do take a trip to come down to Fan Expo, I will be there. And if you do find me, whatever I choose to cosplay this time, depending on what character it is, I may be handing things out to people. Because I usually like to hand stuff out to people that take pictures with me as like a thank you. Not necessarily as a, hey, here's my social media stuff, but more of a like, hey, you acknowledged my cosplay, you thought it was cool, thank you, here's a thing as a thank you. So like last year, I went up and I asked a lot of people from the One Piece like cosplay meetup thing towards the end of the day. I asked them, hey, would you mind if I took a picture with you or things like that? They're like, absolutely. Or if they ask me for one, I'm like, of course. So I handed out pretty much all of them. The ones that did not make the cut are actually down here on my work bag. Oh no. My G-key down. Anyways, I knocked the thing over. This one's not actually one of his commanders. That was just the tester thing I did for one of the One Piece cards. So yeah, and that, he's not either. I drew that. That was from one of my meme reels. I just thought it was funny and decided to make it into a button. But, Flamenco, Haruda, King Du, and Atmos, I do not know why I struggled with his name. Those are the only 4 left, which I'm amazed, because Bakugo's voice actor, does his. And I'm pretty sure that's who he shared, Ian Sinclair shared the things with, because he was there at the same thing, too. But, now going on to the rest of my room, things you probably are very, very familiar with. Behold the little corner shelf I have in my room. You guys don't ever get to see this up close, because from where I sit, you don't actually get to see much. So, I will go ahead and show off everything now. As you can tell, this is my little duck shrine. I need to point this out. Again, that little duck with the crown, his name is Cashew. Yes, I named him. moving on. First of all, we have the rest of the QnA stuff. There's 3 little things there, and there are 2 up there. Now that that's out of the way, as you can tell, there are crocheted things up here. That does not belong with the crocheted things. It's also crocheted, but it does not get grouped in with those 3. Reason those 3 are up here. Yes, I am a dark. Call me what you will. All 3 of those things, the little hanging plant, ice bear, and the little purple duck, my sister crocheted them for me, and they're very important to me, so I keep them on my top shelf. I do that with a lot of the stuff people give me. I will save it because it's very important to me. I need to point out too, so that one's name is Cashew. That one, this little duck, right here, his name's Walnut. Okay, now that we've got that established, a lot of these ducks don't actually have names. A lot of them I just got this year. So there's this, and there's a best friend's necklace right there. Or bracelet, I think it is. No, I think it's a necklace. I think it's just hanging shorter right there. Those 2, that duck, and this little hedgehog, and then the necklace, all came from my niece and nephew. They're also very important, so I keep them on the top shelf. I need to show you guys with this little duck right here. This is so funny to me, okay? So right here, it was the one on the bottom. Normal duck, right? Wrong. The bad part is, I got it as a Christmas gift this year. I think I was supposed to only get a cup, and it came inside the cup, along with the little duck keychain I have up there. I thought it was just like a normal little duck. I'm like, oh, that's cool, okay. And then I went to go drop it, and it made a squeaking noise, and I was like, wait, what? So, apparently it has a squeaker in it. Len also came from Mr. Goose, too. He was from a mystery bag pull kind of thing, and he said, yeah, no, if I pull Rin or Len from this, you're getting them. I need to point this out. Rin and Len are not my favorite Vocaloids. I do like them. They're not my favorite. The only reason he said that was because Len was a duck and Rin was a corgi out of the little set. So, yeah. Next little shelf down. I don't think I need to explain this. Like my vitamins, medicine, deodorants, perfumes, moisturizers, things like that. I put this on every now and then with this specifically because something a lot of people don't actually know is if you put this on, like your pulse points, I think it is, if you put that on them before you put your perfume or your cologne, when you go to put that on, it helps it stay on a lot longer, so it lasts a lot longer through the day. So that's actually why I have that up there. The little, like, bottle of lotion I have, it's like a little travel size one, but I keep it in the bathroom more specifically for when I get out because I have a very bad tendency to come out of the shower and then just come in here and flop down and pass out. So I always forget to use lotion after I get out of the shower. So I have it in there so I remember. I have this in here. I used to have it with my retainer, but I don't anymore. But anyways, moving down to this shelf. Another little shoji stand thing. Because, yeah. Another paper theater because, like I said, I'm obsessed with them. My little Zenitsu shine. Because out of the main 4 or 5, I'll say main 4 because I called him Genji. His name is not Genji, it's Genya. Oh my god. My own OCs have polluted my mind. The one's last name is Genji. I wouldn't consider Kenya a part of the main characters because honestly he isn't in there a whole lot. At least from what I've seen up to. But I'm trying to put my thoughts together now because I'm concerned I probably said another name by accident when I meant something entirely different. None of you called me out on that. I'm amazed. Someone would have by now. Anyways, out of like the main four, so out of like Inosuke, Tanjiro, Nezuko, and Zenitsu, Zenitsu's my favorite. So, yeah. We have these. I was trying for the little Gyome mini, and I did not get them. So, here we are. Moving down. If you'll notice, there's a couple of things knocked over. They were all stickers. That is a-okay, because I have a whole set of them stuck on my computer. We got my little Edo shrine. These were from round 1. I say we. Me and my family actually went back in October when it was a theme here. I think it's still going on. I really, really like Edo. Yes, was her thing from One Piece what actually got me, into her music? Yes. But in my defense, too, a lot of the music that I found from her was outside of the music she did for Film Red. So, when I went to her stuff and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna listen to one of her songs to try and see how her music is. I got, addicted to all of them. So, she is an artist that is on a very heavy loop in my music. I just got the figure this year for Christmas. So far, the figure has not come to the US. And I'm kind of sad about, the round 1s in the US. Because, yes, there is round 1 here. I think there might be another, but it might be, a couple hours out of the way from us. At least the one that's around us is about 40 minutes out or so. So, it's not that bad, but this whole little shrine, I love it. She's, one of my favorite artists. But, I'm moving down to the next one now. Not much here. It's just these two. Do I need to even give them an intro? Woof! Is that not enough of a reminder for you? That's the little Polaroid. You know who they are. You know who it's from. You know what it is. I don't have to say anything else. My clips speak for me. Thank you to the people that clip me playing Obey Me, because you'll know exactly who they are. Going down to this, I'm not going to give this much of a thing, just because this was a Christmas gift, and it's kind of like an out there kind of thing that I think pretty much nobody besides me would find, extremely cool. I really, really like this. I didn't order this. I'm saying that because I got my dad something similar. I hope my brother get my dad something similar for Christmas. I was about to say I did it. No, I mostly picked it out. My brother pretty much just bought it, so it's technically my brother that got it for him, but, what this is, though, is it's a little projector thing. And you have these different little, space images that it projects on your ceiling. And I know what you're probably thinking from a lot of the things you see. Okay, sure, cool. It's just a cheapo little projector. No. This one is, a high quality projector. The pictures are, super, super crisp in it. I don't even know how they did it, but it's cool. And the thing, because I am a huge space nerd, the one thing that is, super cool with these is it has these different little things
I'm gonna see if I can open the box one-handed. But it has these little things in it. The little, like, disc replacement things that you can swap stuff out with. So it has these. There's about 6 in each pack, and there's 2 of them. But the cool part is it tells you what the little thing is. It shows you many, like, I guess, sneak peek of what it's supposed to look like. But then it gives you a little bit of info. There are so many different nebulas and things in here that they give you information on. It is so cool to me. It is so cool. There's also a little projector for meteors too, and the little buttons on the top tell you how fast or how slow you want them to go, or if you want them at all, how fast or how slow you want the picture to rotate. It's so cool to me. But now I can move on to the rest of my room. First of all, let me get a drink because I'm like right here and I forgot 2 minutes ago. Let me check the comments too on here. Please wake up, computer. Okay. There we are. Alright. Back to this. Jeez. I forgot to mute the mic, sorry. I'm showing off the rest of the stuff though. So you guys have seen my bed. You know I got a Corazon blanket. It's just all the same picture repeating. I got my little Ryakumas. I'm going to educate you guys. You're gonna love me. I'm making you learn something. Don't worry, it's something fun, but you gotta learn, okay? Alright. So, by now, I'm sure you've probably picked up on the theme. I name my plush. If it's not an officially licensed one with a name, I name it. So these ones, they're both from Ryakuma. I would have to Google their names to know specifically which one is Ryakuma and what the other one's name is, because I know they're gonna have different names. But this little bear with the little, like honey pot hat, his name is Porter. Why? I don't know. He looked like a porter to me. So, moving on to the rest of my bed. Also, yes, I have 3 comforters. I am very cold like all the time, so I sleep with like 3 blankets. I think I sleep with 2 in the summer. I think it's very, very rare that I sleep with 1. But, back to the name game with all my plush. Clearly, you know who these are. The tags say they're from Obey Me. You got Satan, Beal, Lucifer, Mammon, and Levi. Funny thing is, these 3 little mochibi were actually a gift from my grandpa. Because my mom and my brother usually help him shop for me because he doesn't know what I'm into and stuff. Usually they help him. And because he does all of his stuff through like Amazon or like internet, the online stores now, they helped him pick those out because they know I'm into Obey Me. And I did not know that those existed. And now that I do, I need to get the rest of them. But anyways, the Satan and Levi actually were things, they're the V2 versions of the plush. They're not the originals, they're not OGs. I just barely got them, I think in December. So these guys are setting up over here because I don't really have a shelf or anywhere to set them, and they've kind of just been hanging out on my desk for the last few weeks. Those 2 are the OGs. They're the originals from Makeshift, if I can talk. These Satan and Levi are not. They're the V2 versions. But this bad boy is going to be flipped over in just a second to show and prove to you guys that my body pillow is not an NSFW one. A lot of you guys keep thinking that it is. It's not. I promise it's not. I might make jokes about anime men or hot men. I don't have an NSFW body pillow. I make jokes. I don't actually own one. I own a body pillow because I lost a bet. But at this point, it helps me from headbutting a hole in my wall because I toss and turn in my sleep like bad. And the only thing that's on the other side of this wall is a staircase. So the last thing I need to do is fall through the wall and down the stairs again for like the 5th time in my life. Also, before I get more Coruscant pictures. Anyways, on to naming my plush. The little red panda's name is Rocky. That is Baby Bean. Why I named him that, I don't know. He looks like a tiny version of that one. That one's name is Sweet Pea. Why? I don't know. It just fit him. Then we got Dexter Bernard. That one's name is actually Betty. That is what the tag says. Those are all Choco Cat. That is actually their name. And you need to remember these ones specifically because this is very, very, very important. The blue one's name is Terrence. The green one's name is Stanley. And the red one's name is Barnaby. Did you guys get all that? That's okay if you didn't because it's in the VOD. I expect you guys to watch at least this part and to know. Anyways. I'm gonna have to destroy my bed for a second here. I am so sorry to these little fellas. They gotta be moved. So, that's what the front of it looks like. I showed you guys what the front of it looks like. So that's what the front of it looks like. I kid you not. My phone keeps buzzing. Anyways. The backside is literally the same exact thing. I promise there's no NSFW. And I will, when my bed's messy the next time on stream, I will actually take it off and show you guys. But because my bed's kind of made and it's kind of a pain in the butt to constantly make it, I'm just going to leave it. But yeah. I also forgot to show this off while I was over here. So I told you guys I cosplay. All my cosplay stuff's in my closet. My closet's an absolute chaotic mess. That little section right there is all I get for shirts I wear throughout the day. The rest of it's cosplays. But, moving on. So, that's my little cozy bed. So, moving on. We got the Gakupo blanket. And I showed you guys what that looks like unfolded. My little window setup. That thing right there is super, super cool. Super, super handy. My parents got it for me. It basically rolls your yarn up into little things. Because down here, I have this little pendulum stand. And it pretty much, if I can unbury it without tangling, it just hangs there. And as you crochet, if it'll go, it unloops it. The handiest thing in the world. That thing turns the yarn into that. I absolutely love it. And don't worry, we're just about done. I did not realize this was going to take as long as it did. So, as you can see by my computer, this is obviously where I stream and stuff. So, we got a couple of little Kaido stickers. We have a Whitebeard wanted poster. These were the 8-0 stickers that were over there. I have these ones up on my desk because I wanted to have some displayed. Then there's these ones. I got a whole set of Corgi stickers. I don't even know who the brainiac was that said, oh, that's a corgi, let's throw it in. Yes, Ein is a corgi. That's an anime sticker. But then we got another QnA sticker. I'm working on making like little fake nails I can wear throughout the weekend. So there's those. I've got my little alarm clock. As you can tell, it's about 2 here. I'm gonna kind of go through this quick because it's about to an hour and a half, and I don't want to post an entire hour and a half VOD of me explaining things in my room, or a 2-hour plus thing. But I'm gonna kind of go quick. So, because a lot of this I did not dust in a while, and I really need to. So, yet again, another little paper theater up there because it has cores on it. But this is a little section for, obviously, law. We got a little mini Brook and Chopper section. Another, or a Corazon picture that does not fit on my Corazon shrine shelf. We got Fern here. Thanks to Mr. Goose, he got it for me because he says that I act a lot like Fern. Moving on. We got these. We got the little Shanks corgi because I accidentally dropped it and broke his paw. We got the little Shanks corgi. We got another little corgi. We got the mini Lego set. We got Jimbei. More Jimbei cats. A lot of the stuff I have up here is just from the Lego sets I have. I don't have anywhere to display them properly yet, but then we got Ezo. One of the many things I have for Whitebeard's crew, and you're gonna find that out very shortly, as you can clearly see. Then we got him. And then we got Marco. Okay. My brother keeps putting these caps on my figures. I'm going to choke him out one of these days. Anyways, we got Marco. I got a signed thing down there. I had a signed poster that I got from him too. I do not know where it went. And I had one from Charlotte Crocker too. I don't know where that one went either. I had signed posters. I don't know where they ended up. They're nowhere in my room. I've like torn my room up 12 times trying to find them. No idea where they ended up. I'll figure it out. But we got Marco stuff. And then as you can tell, the granddaddy of my whole collection, I also dropped a Thatch card. I dropped something on stream a while ago and I figured out what it was. It was a golden Thatch card I had. But yeah, we got a little mini shrine for Thatch. I had a little keychain down there, but it kind of got knocked over. I made it. And we got Whitebeard's whole crew. I'm clearing my throat because I'm about to do one of the dumbest things ever. And you guys are gonna call me a dork for actually memorizing this, but I don't care. So, to show that I am a huge nerd, I can name off every single one of these commanders, and I'm almost to the point I can name them off in order. But I'm not going to name them off in order of what division they run. I'm just going to name them off. So, there's Atmos, Requio, Jozu, Curiel, Blenheim, Vista, Flamenco, Fossa, Kingdu, Thatch, of course. Then we got Speed Jill, Ezo, Ace, Namor, Marco, and Haruta. All 16 of them. And the fun little thing that I had pointed out, I forget what it was that I was talking about. Oh, the Kaku sticker. So, fun thing with these. When I originally bought these, I bought them not last year, the year before for my birthday, as like a thing for myself, or I had my brother buy them for me, something like that. I say I had him. He more or less asked me, well, do you want something for your birthday? And I was like, no, not really. And he's like, no. So I had to pick a couple of things out. So if I say I had him get them for me, that's why. He kind of twisted my arm too, so I originally was not going to, but here we are. So, when I originally looked into the set of these, I thought all 16 of them came together. Philza did not. He was the only, not King Do, him, in the little blue vest. He was the only one that did not come with the whole set. So I had to buy him separately later on, and as a consolation thing, the person actually threw in a few extra, like, I guess, stickers, which is where I got the Kaku sticker from, and then they threw in a custom Usopp card. It's of his poster, so it's God Usopp. It is so cool. It is so freaking cool. I don't know what it is, but... And then we got the cards right there. I just recently got this. I forgot to take the tag off of it. But it's a starter deck card. I pulled that one a while ago. And then we got this one. I got it at the same time with the Whitebeard one, like just this weekend. So, I got those. Moving on. I showed this off. But I will kind of go slower with the light on. Yes, the figures are very dusty still because I have not been able to get to these ones for a good couple of months now. Maybe like 3 or 4. Because I've been trying to work at getting my desk set up and put together so I can have my streaming things up and going. So they're very dusty, but that's my Corazon train, which I do need to point out too. Whenever someone comes over and they do not have a cup like that that's like insulated, these are actual coasters. And I do in fact make people use them. I have one down there I don't ever put out because that one's on display. The rest of them get used. But that's pretty much it. I have down there my old mic. If I can lean out of the way. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. I have my old mic down there, and I have a new mouse pad. As you can tell by the top of it, it's a new Hitalia one. It's the Allies. It's not the Access, because this is the current one I have. I also got this from Rainy Day Anime. I actually bought this one. I need to go throw that out, but it will in a second. So, I have this. I got it from Rainy Day Anime. I'm sure they were probably, like, late. Because out of everything in that shop, I was about to leave. And I was like, I don't really see anything I like. I turned around in enough time as my brother walked up to check out. And I seen this. And I grabbed it. And I kind of stood there behind my brother. Because it was like a road trip. So we were passing through town. I had to cough again, sorry. But it was like a road trip, so we were passing through the town, and my brother stopped there. I was standing in line, and as soon as we were getting ready to leave, my mom's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, I thought there wasn't anything here I wanted. I turned around and I saw this. I want to get it. And she's like, "You know what? I'm amazed you're actually getting something. I will stand here and wait with you." So we stood there and waited to check out. So that's where that one came from. That mouse pad came from my grandpa this year. And that's all of the Allies. This one is all the Access. And I'm going to take like very, very good care of these because I really... You're gonna find out here in like 2 seconds. I am a huge, huge Hitalia fan. And I'm just now finding out that there are collectibles out there I can get. And I'm most definitely working on. So, yeah. Jeez, I don't ever talk this much, so my throat is killing me. Let me grab my drink again. Alright. I think I should be good to finish this out. So, if I can get my throat to clear. So, I'm going to just show you guys. I did not realize I'm about at 2 hours. I'm going to try and hurry. Okay, I showed you guys. I built the Lego sets. That's going merry.
the little, like, bunny girl came from an arcade that had just, like, a brand new arcade around us. My parents and my brother say that it's extremely creepy. I don't think. She looks cute. I like her. Then we got him. We got the boy. Ishkakupo. We got the samurai boy. I absolutely love him. The one thing I love the most is his hair is actually articulated too. So you can pose him in any way you want, and I love it.
Then that whole thing is a playing mat and collector edition for cards and stuff for One Piece. Everything's still in the box. I refuse to take them out of the box. Do you see the art on that? Do you see how pretty that is? I don't want to ruin the box. Everything is staying in the box. The box is staying. I don't care if it's just a box. That is such pretty art on it. My arms are kind of tired too, but so that's why I keep dropping them. But then we got Galaga. Yes, it actually works. Let's see where. I thought that was a. Wait. Is that not the power button? I thought it was. Oh no, you just gotta press it in really hard. That turns this. No. So yes, that does work. It took me a minute to figure it out, but moving on. My sister got me the little thing. That was another one of the prizes I won with that little like donut maker thing. So yeah, the little bird or birdie, I think is her name. It was from the Minecraft McDonald's collab thing. I still have the outfit code and things like that for it, but maybe not. I don't know. But of all dumb things, my brother's friend got that and he gave it to me because he's like, you know what? I know your sister likes birds, so I put it up there. Then we got Ed. My sister got that for me. I think I said that. I gotta move her really quick. 'Cause she's... No! Samurai down. But there's Shino. I'm going to have to fix him in just a second. But then we got this. A lot of my One Piece cards are in that little box back there. That is a box. But then we got this little shrine. And as you can see, these cards are in fact the real deal. Those are the actual things. I pulled them by complete luck. Usopp was actually the first one I originally pulled. My brother actually pulled that one because I have my family open cards with me because I like getting the booster boxes. So I will get them, but then I'll open a couple of packs. I'll have them open a couple of packs and then look at all the cards and stuff that I got afterwards and then show them if there were some they didn't see or I didn't see. So I'll show them like the whole set and things after I'm done. But that was the recent one I just pulled. I actually have Marco sat out like this because he's the leader card. I actually have a deck because I plan to play or go to a tournament at some point. So I have Whitebeard's whole crew. I have all the red and blue cards. Fortunately, I do not have the one for the red stage card of the Moby Dick in there because I know that one's banned from tournaments. So I have the blue one instead, but I have a lot of red and blue cards specifically geared towards Whitebeard's crew directly. So yeah. But then we have Bellemir's card. Obviously, because I have the little figure and stuff. Bellemere is honestly like one of my favorite characters, so she is here for a specific reason. I got my little headphones. I had to buy these at separate times, but I keep them up there because the one set's for home. These ones are the ones I use for like my streams and stuff. So these ones are for home, and then these ones are for work. Probably should have had the red ones for work and not the white ones, but oh well. And then I have this thing. It's a little desktop toy. It is so cool. I have sat here for hours before just watching it. So I should not be showing that off all too much. Then we got this shelf. Yes, I don't know if you can see the things. I put those little wanted posters on. But then we got the thing between Whitebeard and Gold Roger. Then we got my book collection. We got Fire Force. I seriously recommend honestly watching and reading this if you have not, because this is like my top 3 recommendations for anyone. We got these. I really like Noragami too. But then we got my Switch games, another paper theater. We got my Xbox games, Switch games. That was from Mr. Goose. He had nowhere to put it, so I have it in here. But then we got these. More of these. Spirited Away. I don't know if it's going to show up. And then we got Hatalia. And then the coolest things ever. I will absolutely pull these out to show them to you. I am absolutely in love. I'm sad because I don't have an international DVD player, but I got some of the musicals. I don't know. I don't even know what to say, dude. I'm so happy I have the musicals for this. They have places online. You can watch them with subtitles, which I probably will do, but I have the actual copies for them. I want to watch them, but I can't yet because I don't have an international DVD player, and I'm sad about that. These I can watch still, but they're on a heavy loop for me on Crunchyroll, so I don't honestly have to watch those ones. Surprisingly, a lot of them I got from thrift stores. Well, one was more of like a second-hand store for like DVDs and movies. It was where people brought stuff in that they didn't want anymore. So I actually got the one from there. I don't remember which one. It was one of these last few. The rest of them came from Goodwill or another sort of a thrift store. So that's how I came in contact with them. Then we got my little ASL shelf here. Cool thing about this, which I'm kind of sad about, and there is a specific reason some of these figures are sat the way they are. This is a plain card mat that I had the voice actors sign. So Sabo's voice actor was right there on him. And I have Ace's little stand here kind of covering it to keep it from getting damaged. And then Luffy's is up over here. I have been dying and absolutely waiting for Ace's to come to where I live, but I don't think it's ever gonna happen. I have a couple extra little Sabo figures that did not really fit on my Ace and Sabo shelf, and you're about to see why. If you've noticed, my shelf, for the most part, is pretty much asymmetrical. Or symmetrical, I should say. You got the Wano Sabo plush, the Sabo Funko, his little money. It's the little gold character money, I should say. So you have that.
You have I think it's Grandista is the name of it. It's the larger figure. So you have him, then you have this one where he's kind of like coming off the shelf a little bit. And then you look at the side with Ace. Again, his Funko, money, Wano concept, plush, another Grandista, and then his Alabasta thing. Which, as you can tell, my brother stuck things on his hands. And I don't even know where they came from. I don't even know what they are. But I'm going to do the same thing back to him. I'll go stick them on his figures. Because he'll never find them then. He has a lot more than me. If you think my collection is big, you should honestly see his. It makes mine look like a beginner's thing, which I don't collect. I just like getting figures for the characters I like. This is kind of like a catch-me-all kind of bucket thing, because I have cords in there, collector cards, extra pencils. I keep the paintbrushes in here because they actually help me dust my figures off a lot easier. There's those boxes of the cats I was telling you guys about. Another thing, another starter deck of unopened One Piece cards. They're the mini Funko Pops for One Piece. So, those came from Mr. Goose. He just, I don't know, he went out and he came home the one day and he's like, oh yeah, look at these we got for you. So, I don't know what to do with them. This thing right here is what I'm about to show you guys. This is going to be the final thing I end the stream with. But there's that. I showed you guys that at the beginning of the stream. So, you guys know the deal with all that. Kind of showed it off a little bit. That was also another thing I had Ian Sinclair sign. Coolest thing ever. He signed it as Romano and then put the little lines on Japan and Germany are supposed to be mustaches. I thought it was funny. That was so comical, having him sign that and having him do like the whole little mini bit. I didn't have him do that, but he did it on his own, and that was funny. I honestly was expecting him to cringe. What? Eric Vale. So, Eric Vale, if you guys don't know, is the one that does Sanji's voice, but he also does America and Canada's voice for Hetalia. So, that's who signed this one, because he was at the last con. He kind of cringed when I brought him this up, because a lot of Hetalia fans are, like, over the top, and, like, I want to say they act borderline psychotic, so I walked up there, and I was just all calm. I was like, hi, and gave him the little, like, I think it's a handkerchief or bandana, but it came with the little movies. It was a thrifted thing, so I cleaned it and stuff. But he kind of, like, cringed when he signed that. He's like, oh, no, it's Italia. So I felt bad. Ian Sinclair did not care. He just got into character and was like, okay, we're doing this. I was like, oh, okay. So it's funny seeing how the different voice actors react to the things you're into from, like, the fandoms and stuff. Like, obviously some of them are probably terrible, but others are not as bad. The last final thing, I just barely got this year from Christmas. It was another thing from my grandpa, surprisingly. It is a whole tapestry of the grade 8. So I absolutely love it. Speaking of tapestries, allow me to show you guys this. Let me see. Does that, yep, okay. So, this is how I'm ending the stream today. Alright. So you guys, hi, hello. I don't normally do stuff like this. So, hello. This is the thing I was talking about. Okay? So, of all the things, the one con I went to go see Ian Sinclair at, what other ones? I don't know. But of all the things, I've gone to all, like, the expos and stuff, and I've had signed and things like that. This has been, like, the one thing I have always brought with me. So, I said it was One Piece. This thing is so cool to me. As you can see, I'm missing Zoro, Robin, and Frankie. Sanji's I got signed last year at Fan Expo along with Usopp's. 2024 Fan Expo, I went up and got Nami and Luffy signed. And I remember specifically because I was in my koala cosplay and her voice actor really, really liked it and had taken a picture of it, which that made my day. Then the one before, like I was saying, out in Colorado Springs, or the one after actually, because I know I got them first. Yeah, I went and got them first because when I went to go get Brooks, in San Diego, when I went to go get Ian Sinclair's, he made the comment that I had already gotten the captain, so, that's where that one came from. And so did Chopper's. Dude, have you guys met Chopper's voice actor? She is so sweet. Like, she is the sweetest person ever. So, to know is to know. I went up to go get her to sign this, okay? She didn't have a very long line. And I was like, well, okay, maybe it's because she kind of is, like, doing her own thing. She's doing whatever. No one was going up and seeing her, and she was taking her time talking to everyone. She was going up, every time someone was going up, she was, hi, how are you? And she was asking about their day and things like that. So I went up and I was like, hi. And she was like, hi, how are you? I said, I'm good. And she said, well, that's good to hear. And she asked me what I was doing. I said, I'm just looking to get a signature. She's like, really? No quote or anything? She still drew a little picture and put a little quote. She is like the sweetest person ever. I felt bad because at the time I didn't talk very much to people, but she is so sweet. She's like one of the nicest voice actors I had the chance to go up and meet. I am hoping when I go to cons in the future, a lot more voice actors are like that, because I've met some where you go up and they're just like, oh, hey, what's up? And that's it. Like, I don't expect obviously, I don't expect everyone to be, like, the same and be like, no, I'm gonna go over the top for you. But, like, she actually seemed, like, genuinely enthused to talk to her fans. Hi, Bubbles! When did you join? I don't have my phone up so I can't see the times and stuff. I just was going through my whole room. I was showing off all this stuff and things like that people had. Or people asked about. I did not see you join though. But anyways, with that thing, like with the signatures and stuff, obviously I don't expect every voice actor to do the same thing, but there's been some that seem like at the end of the day they're just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna sign this to get it done and over with. So I feel bad because I feel like maybe they're just ran down a lot too. But I think for the most part that is it with my room. And because my stream is kind of getting to a point where it's kind of getting long, and unfortunately, my stream is actually probably going to be cut short because my phone is at like 10%.
I will end the stream like this. So I showed you guys what it looks like entering my room. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like, what I see when I leave my room. I'm not going to go very far. I'm just going to go to like the hall. So you see, it's all nice, fun, bright, colorful, things like that. Because it is currently snowing, this is the view I get. It is very dark. So that's the view I get. That is how I leave my room every time I have to go do stuff. So, yeah. I think that was pretty much it, though. I'm going to end the stream here. Because oh, what am I trying to say? I'm gonna end the stream here because I'm probably going to upload this whole VOD to YouTube. Because, obviously, as you can tell, down there, OBS is closed. So, I am just rolling off of one tab. I have this open, or I've had this open, so if people redeem channel points, it would be something I could see and things like that. So, yeah, I don't have any way of having this posted on YouTube other than manually doing it myself, so I really do not mind. So, if you missed this whole VOD and you're curious with my room and things like that, I'm going to be posting it. What, you just... Oh my gosh, no! I just barely finished everything off. Oh my gosh. Well, like I was saying, thankfully I'm posting this whole like VOD thing to my YouTube channel so you could see everything. And you know what? Just because it's about over, but before it ends, I will do this because I know you specifically were one of the people asking about it. Oh, I just said I didn't want to destroy my bed. No. Okay, well, they're gonna have to go everywhere. So, showing it off better, this is the one side of the body pillow. It's literally the same exact thing on the other side. I swear it's not NSFW. The only thing that's remotely concerning is probably that. Or wait. Yeah, this. Which I showed the blanket off. I showed what it looks like off in the stream the other day. I swear I didn't swap the body pillow. I only have one. I think honestly because I might do another stream tonight too, just because I did this one because I know it had been asked about. And I honestly had planned on doing this for a while. So I think I might do another stream tonight. I don't know. If I don't do one tonight, and especially too, I think there's maybe like one or two other people that came in at the beginning. So I think I might do another stream later. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna stream VR chat. If I stream VR chat, it would have to be like an event thing I specifically make an announcement over and have very few people invited into it or go into private lobbies. Yeah, I was not expecting to actually be able to, because normally on Thursdays I'm not able to.
Normally on Thursdays, I'm waiting, or I have to come home from work, obviously, but usually by the time I do, my mom's home. Today, she didn't get off early, though, so I was able to do the stream earlier, so I might honestly try and start working at doing earlier but later streams, if that makes sense. So, like, something 3 or 4 hours from now. But I honestly will probably still do one, maybe tonight or tomorrow. I don't honestly know, but this whole thing, I promise, is going up on YouTube. I'm not cutting anything out. I don't usually edit the videos and cut them out and stuff. I try and keep them as, like, plain, I guess, would be the best thing to say. I try and keep them as plain as possible, so everything's kind of out there. But I'm going to finish this up because my phone is just now giving me the thing. It's at like 5%. It goes through battery way too quick now. So I will probably end this just because this is on my phone. But if you guys do not hear from me now, you'll more than likely hear from me tomorrow. Tomorrow, I will see how things go. It might be a later night stream, though, so I don't know. Yeah, I forgot what I was about to say. But I will see you guys around. Thank you for at least stopping in for a few. I think that's about it. Just keep an eye on YouTube because this will probably go up here in the next few hours. But yeah. Bye, guys. Bye.